And good evening. An alleged affair turned deadly. Tonight, the arrest in the brutal murder of a New York City mother, ending a days-long manhunt for the killer. The NYPD says 44-year-old David Bonola confessed to stabbing Ursula Gall more than 50 times inside of her Queens home while her teenage son was upstairs. Police say he was the family's handyman and is believed to have been romantically involved with Gall for at least 2 years. Surveillance video showing what police say is Bonola rolling a bag with her body through her neighborhood last Saturday before dumping it on the side of the road. The NYPD also releasing a photo of the suspected murder weapon, this large kitchen knife found at the scene. Tonight, her neighbors breathing a bit easier after the chilling crime sent shockwaves through the community of Forest Hills. Our Zincle Esamwa is there and leads us off tonight.
Here he comes.
Tonight, just days after the gruesome murder of a Queens mother, the suspect is in custody.
David Bonola is a 44-year-old handyman who walked out of the doors of this Queens, New York police precinct, now charged and arrested with murder, criminal tampering, and criminal possession of a weapon.
Bonola giving incriminating statements to police about the murder of Ursula Gall, 51, and a mother of 2. Worried community members learning of his arrest Thursday.
The suspect has been found.
I didn't know that.
You hope that that's the end of it, that there was one person involved and it wasn't more complicated than that.
Authorities saying at a press conference it wasn't a random attack.
This stemmed to be a domestic type dispute that they were having.
On Thursday, authorities saying at a press conference Bonola and Gall had an on and off affair for 2 years. Police say Bonola did work at the Gall residence, adding he was known to the family. Authorities say the two had broken up but reunited in early April, and Saturday something went sour.
On Friday night, April 15th, Miss Gall attends a show at Lincoln Center. She takes the train back to her neighborhood in Forest Hills. At 11:20 p.m., she stops in a local establishment for a short while before returning home.
That establishment was the Forest Hills Station House.
She was here on Friday and right in the center of the bar, had a Moscow Mule.
Gall returning to her home around 12:20 a.m. on Saturday. Her husband and oldest son out of town for a college visit, while her youngest son was in the house upstairs, according to police. Authorities say between 12:30 and 12:40 a.m., Bonola, with access to the house, entered.
A heated argument ensues between the two in the basement. A knife is brandished. A violent struggle ensues.
Police suspect it was this knife found at the crime scene used to fatally stab Gall over 50 times. Then neighborhood surveillance video showing a shadowy figure seen hours later rolling a duffel bag, leaving a trail of blood on the sidewalks. Inside that bag were Gall's remains, found around half a mile from the home by someone walking at a major cross street.
Any information on why he dragged the body out?
We believe he just didn't want it to be found by the family.
Do you feel safer now that he's in custody?
Without a doubt. I think we've all been a little scared at night. This family will never be the same, and I think this block will never be the same.
Truly sad what that family is going through right now. Zincle Esamwa joins us now live from the scene of the crime there. So Zincle, we understand that the alleged suspect here who's been arrested made incriminating statements to police after voluntarily going with them for questioning?
That's right, Tom. So Bonola had no prior arrests, but when he was taken in for questioning, he made incriminating statements. Among those, he admitted to being the person who sent those threatening texts to Gall's husband. You'll remember those said, "Your whole family is next." So really disturbing details today, but a little bit of closure for the community, Tom.
All right, Zincle Esamwa leading us off tonight. Zincle, thank you for that. We want to move now to Arizona, where officials have declared a state of emergency in the massive wildfires burning near Flagstaff. Thousands have evacuated and dozens of structures are now destroyed. The inferno entering its 5th day as dry conditions and heavy winds fuel its growth. NBC national correspondent Miguel Almaguer is there with more.
Exploding across more than 30 square miles, fanned by epic and relentless winds, Flagstaff's tunnel fire showing no mercy overnight as thousands flee the flames and dozens of structures are lost.
All the houses that I had seen that were there earlier, 45 minutes earlier, except for one, were all burned to the ground.
With crews fighting a losing battle and facing a ballooning fire, the inferno is poised to race into more forest land. The biggest wind threat likely coming tomorrow as smoke smothers the region.
Forecast is just for continued winds for the next few days. This fire season's going to be long and longer.
As 9 major wildfires torch Arizona and New Mexico, 50-mile-an-hour winds across the region are kicking fire season off to a fast and furious start. The acreage burned nationally so far, already 30% higher than average.
I cried driving away because you just don't know. You don't know if you're going to come home to anything.
And tonight in Arizona, with plenty of fuel in this fire's path, there is now a growing sense of misery in its wake.
All right, Miguel joins us now from Arizona live tonight. So, Miguel, what's the latest on the number of homes that have been threatened by this fire? And is there any sign, we just heard there the last part of your report there, but is there any sign of any type of containment anytime soon?
Well, Tom, we know tonight at least 800 homes in this general area remain under threat, and thousands of people are out of those homes. As for the fire, containment remains at 0%, which essentially means any direction the fire is moving, it remains unchecked. And it's these whipping winds that are really the problem. Tom, this fire could make a major run in one direction and simply with a strong gust of wind, completely turn around and move in the opposite direction. Tom?
Firefighters, they're up against so much. All right, Miguel, we thank you for that. For more on the dry and windy conditions fueling this raging fire, I want to get to meteorologist Michelle Grossman. Michelle, so walk us through the next couple of days over there.
Yeah, hi there, Tom. Well, we have a threat tomorrow, and it's an extremely critical risk. We don't hear that often from the Severe Prediction Center, but we have all the ingredients, quite literally, for a recipe for disaster, and the big concern will be for an outbreak of wildfires. Let's take a look at what we're expecting tonight and then that expansion tomorrow. So we are looking at red here. That's your critical risk. That's Amarillo to Lubbock, also Raton, and we're looking at winds gusting to 40 miles per hour as we go throughout the rest of today. Tomorrow, though, we're going to see winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. Even some spots in northern New Mexico could see winds gusting up to 80 miles per hour. So any fires that starts, that's extremely hard to extinguish when you have fires that fierce and also fueling those flames. So we're looking at really strong winds, low humidity, dry terrain, trees and grass, and we really are going to see that going on for days and days. So here's a fire danger. This is your red flag warning, and what that means is it's the highest alert. It's sort of that warning to residents that even a small spark could start a raging wildfire. So 15 million at risk. We're going to see those strong winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. Rapid fire spread is likely, so we will be watching this very, very closely. Here are your wind alerts, high wind warnings stretching from Nebraska all the way to New Mexico. 23 million people impacted. We do have a wind advisory, too, in that lighter blue. In addition to that, we were watching some strong storms tonight in Missouri, and we do have the slight risk for severe storms with hail as large as 2 inches. Once again, winds gusting to 60 miles per hour. An isolated tornado is possible in where you see these yellow shading. And then tomorrow, Tom, we're looking at that expanding and an enhanced risk where you see the orange from North Platte all the way to Amarillo. Tom? All
right, Michelle, we thank you for that. Now to the ongoing mask battle. The Department of Justice appealing a federal judge's ruling that put an end to the mask mandate on public transit. And with new COVID variants beginning to spread, some passengers are not ready to drop their masks just yet. Tom Costello has more.
We're going to begin boarding in about 9 minutes.
For 2 years, airports and airlines have been on the front lines of the mask debate. Now, top airline CEOs say their customers and employees are ready to move on.
We've got to do something that makes sense. And right now, we can't have our team members be enforcers. We need to get them back to servicing.
I think it's very unlikely that a mask requirement is going to come back anytime in the foreseeable future.
But with new COVID variants still spreading, many passengers aren't ready.
Just traveling that close to strangers, I feel like better safe than sorry in this case, so I'd rather not get sick. I'll keep it on.
A national poll finds 56% favor keeping the transportation mask mandate, while 24% oppose it. It's not just air travelers. Masking rules vary from city to city, buses, trains, and subways, with many people asking, should they drop the mask or double mask? Adding to the mask confusion, the Justice Department's decision to appeal that federal judge's order that struck down the mask mandate.
We'll respect the ruling,
but we're still going to follow the science, and that's why we're appealing.
But it's a gamble. Many public health experts worry the CDC could be handcuffed if the appeals court agrees it exceeded its authority.
When the next big crisis hits, we want a CDC that's strong, nimble, and decisive, and that won't happen if the court curtails it.
Confusion and concern from planes to trains to the White House. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
We turn now to the war in Ukraine. Today, President Biden announcing more military aid to Ukraine as the battle for the Donbas region rages on. The besieged city of Mariupol now almost entirely under Russian control, except for one massive steel mill. Aaron McLaughlin is on the ground for us.
Tonight, Russian President Vladimir Putin declaring victory over the besieged port city of Mariupol, telling Russia's defense minister, congratulations. Russia controls nearly all of what's left of the city, but not this massive steel mill, where the last Ukrainian troops are still holed up. Putin ordering Russian forces to seal it off, so, quote, not even a fly can pass through until those Ukrainian troops run out of food and surrender. But inside the plant, a Ukrainian fighter sent us this video, insisting Putin's victory declaration is a lie.
We're still fighting. We destroyed one tank today, 2 armored fighting vehicles, and 1 armored personnel carrier.
He tells us hundreds of civilians are also trapped inside. The rest of the city is now under Russian control, where Ukrainian officials say the situation grows more catastrophic by the day, saying these new satellite images show graves dug by Russians to bury Mariupol residents who've been killed. Meanwhile, authorities only managing to evacuate dozens of civilians since yesterday, taking them to nearby Zaporizhia. Tonight, NBC's Matt Bradley speaking to this child, who was crying, saying he can't understand why Putin destroyed his home.
I can't understand it either. It's hard to find answers, isn't it?
Tonight, Russia's assault on eastern Ukraine rages on. Ukraine's President Zelensky again pleading for more weapons from the West.
We will speak softly and carry a large javelin, because we're sending a lot of those in as well.
President Biden announcing another $800 million round of military aid. We spoke to a Ukrainian military official. Is this enough?
So it sounds like a very good amount of equipment, but again, probably that's not enough.
He says Ukraine can win this war, but the cost could be unbearable. And tonight we're also seeing Russian forces gaining ground in the east, claiming around 80% of a key region known as Luhansk. But Ukrainian officials say it's still early in this fight. Tom.
Aaron McLaughlin reporting in from Ukraine tonight. Aaron, thank you. We want to stay overseas now, and we head to France, where voters are heading to the polls this weekend in a winner-takes-all runoff between centrist incumbent Emmanuel Macron and far-right nationalist Marine Le Pen. Officials at the White House watching this race closely as the fate of France's commitment to NATO is at stake. Just last week, Macron's opponent Le Pen renewing vows to scale back France's leadership role in the alliance if elected. This highly anticipated political rematch is shaping up to be a closely watched race. For more, I want to bring in NBC's Keir Simmons, who joins us tonight from Paris. Keir, you watched the debate last night between these two candidates. Explain to our viewers how different these two people are and why not just the U.S., but all of Europe is watching this election.
Well, it was a fight last night, Tom. There were fireworks. I mean, the attention in Europe has been on the battlefield in Ukraine, but now this weekend we'll turn to the ballot box here in France with perhaps just as profound implications. And we saw that in that debate last night. Marine Le Pen focused on domestic issues. Elections are always decided on domestic issues, talking about inflation, talking about immigration. But as you mentioned, she has also talked about being hostile to NATO, to Europe. She has had past links to President Putin. In that debate, President Macron accusing her of taking money from Russia. So it was bitter. It was tough. 2.5 hours, Tom, with the two candidates facing each other, just feet apart, staring each other down.
So, Keir, talk to me. You mentioned some of the issues there, why Le Pen has caught fire, immigration. We also talk about inflation and also globalism. So what is it about her that French voters, at least now, seem to be more interested in?
Well, it's a great question. She's managed to soften her image a little bit. Remember that her father was a fascist leader here in France. And that being said, she is still behind in the polls. Macron has a double-digit lead. However, and of course, this is one of the worries, Tom. We were talking to a Le Pen voter just today, and she previously, in the first round, voted for the equivalent of Bernie Sanders. She's a socialist. Now she'll vote for Le Pen. When I said to her, who are you going to vote for? She said, not Macron. I said, well, who? You're not going to vote at all? She said, no, I'll vote for the other one. Tom, she wouldn't say Le Pen's name, and yet she was still prepared to vote for Le Pen. And that, of course, is what's going to have Macron supporters here in France worried through the weekend, and people across Europe because of the profound implications. Is there a hidden vote for Le Pen that we're not seeing? Is it enough to overcome that double-digit lead for Macron?
Yeah, that political phenomenon where voters just want the insurgent candidate. They never want to vote for the incumbent. Talk to us why people in France, why the French people are upset or just unsatisfied with Macron.
Well, as you mentioned, you know, he is the incumbent. Le Pen has been painting him as elitist. He doesn't do himself any favors in that respect because he can come across as aloof. He's been trying not to. But just during that debate, for example, he used this kind of gesture, a French gesture, which many French people, towards Le Pen, many French people will consider that to have been insulting. He was folding his arms at times. So you did see that Macron that can be seen as establishment, as aloof. And again, as you suggest, anyone who's been president for 5 years, well, they are going to be seen as part of the establishment rather than the outsider that he was back in 2017.
Keir Simmons, who will be in Paris for NBC News covering this election for us. Keir, we thank you for that. Now to the Americas, where we focus on stories coming out of the U.S. and across Latin America. At our southern border, the sight of unaccompanied children has become far too common. Migrant minors hoping for a better life are braving the dangerous journey, and some are losing it all for the American dream. Our partners at Telemundo spoke with one family suffering heartbreak. NBC's Gotti Schwartz has their emotional story.
Y ahora lo que me queda es ir a una caja de madera a darle su último adiós.
Roxana Sabion can barely speak. This Honduran mother just received the worst news imaginable. Her son, 14-year-old Christopher Alvarado Sabion, drowned while attempting to cross the Rio Grande into the United States. The teen went missing last Saturday after traveling with his 16-year-old sister and two cousins. Christopher's sister broke the news to their mother.
Solo vio cuando la corriente se lo llevó. Y cuando ella volteó a ver otra vez, ya mi hijo no estaba.
Her children are just two of the thousands of unaccompanied minors making the dangerous trek to the U.S. southern border. Some children as young as 2, like this Honduran boy rescued by Customs and Border Protection near Roma, Texas. CBP officials telling Telemundo his only possession was his birth certificate with his father's contact information scribbled on the back. Or this 3-year-old boy from Guatemala found by Border Patrol near the Santa Teresa port of entry in New Mexico.
Un área rural, un área remota. Y se exponen a la deshidratación.
But the children keep coming. CBP reported more than 72,000 encounters with unaccompanied minors since October of last year, a 52% increase from those months the year before. Some say they have no other choice, like these two boys.
Nosotros venimos a Estados Unidos porque queremos estudiar, porque ya en Honduras no se puede estudiar por las maras.
The violence, economic turmoil, and brutal socioeconomic ripples of the pandemic across the Americas keep driving migration with no end in sight.
Yo les pido de favor a esos padres de otros países, Honduras, Salvador, Guatemala, que no manden a sus hijos solos. Es un peligro.
The journey north is unforgiving. Roxana, grieving for her son, watching on repeat the last video he sent her before the trip, singing his favorite song, not knowing it would be the last time she would hear his voice.
Gotti Schwartz joins us now live. Gotti, this story is just truly heartbreaking. And this is happening at a time when the border is just really out of control. We're understanding that the numbers are surging and they expect it to go higher in the coming weeks as well.
That's right, Tom. Officials are already reporting massive numbers of apprehensions on the border, the most migrant encounters at the southern border in the last 22 years. And again, that is still weeks ahead of this expected lifting of Title 42. There are also, as you know, hundreds of thousands of migrants from all across Latin America currently waiting in Mexico. And as we speak, there are reports of possible caravans from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras heading north that could arrive in the next month or so. Tom?
Gotti Schwartz tonight for us. Gotti, we appreciate that. When we come back, the plane crash hoax. The YouTuber accused of intentionally crashing an airplane for this now viral video. The consequences just handed down. Plus, the scare today at UC Berkeley, why the campus was locked down for hours. And drugging guests? The new video showing officers arriving at a wedding after the food was allegedly laced with marijuana. Isa Gutierrez is in the house tonight. She joins Top Story Live with the charges the bride and the caterer are now facing after the guests say they were tricked. Stay with us. All right, we're back now with a bizarre story, a plane crash hoax. An Olympian turned YouTuber who crashed his plane in a viral video is now having to answer to the FAA, and it looks like his future is up in the air. NBC's Priscilla Thompson has this story.
YouTuber Trevor Jacob was flying high, but not anymore.
I'm over the mountains and I out and exit out.
The Federal Aviation Administration has pulled his pilot's license, saying he deliberately crashed his plane into the Los Padres National Forest in California.
Oh.
The key piece of evidence, a YouTube video he posted himself, titled, "I Crashed My Plane."
Holy.
The plane went down in November. At the time, Jacob claimed on camera that his plane malfunctioned. It's all because of this moment. The 12-minute compilation has almost 1.8 million views. It's just one of Jacob's many uploads showing risky stunts. The viral video shows him jumping out of his plane wearing a sport parachute, something experts say is unusual.
They're not particularly comfortable, and as you sit in the seat, it puts you sort of in an odd position.
The parachute was just one of 9 red flags the FAA says proves the crash was intentional. He also attached multiple cameras in strategic locations on the plane. He opened the pilot door before claiming the engine had failed.
That adds drag to the airplane, which limits your the time that you have to glide to a landing.
The FAA says Jacob made no attempt to contact air traffic control prior to jumping and made no attempt to restart the engine by increasing airflow over the propeller.
All pilots are trained to deal with various types of emergencies, including engine failures. This is something that I would have expected him to have demonstrated to an instructor.
According to the FAA, Jacob also made no attempt to look for areas to land safely, even though there were multiple areas within gliding range where he could have made a safe landing. He jumped while holding a camera and continued to record the aircraft during his descent. He recovered and disposed of the wreckage, and he recovered the cameras on the plane after the crash.
Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. This was nothing but a stunt that was premeditated and planned.
I'm so thirsty.
The FAA says Jacob is required to surrender his private pilot certificate, and no application will be accepted from him for a year.
I can't talk about it. Per my attorney.
We reached out to Jacob for comment and did not hear back. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
All right, next to the bride accused of drugging her wedding guests, the Florida woman and her caterer now facing felony charges after allegedly lacing the food with marijuana, sending unsuspecting guests to the hospital. Isa Gutierrez has more.
This February wedding in Florida went from this to this.
We're just at the wedding. Me and my girlfriend were talking, and I feel like there's some kind of drugs in me or something, and I don't know what's happening.
New police body camera video obtained by NBC News showing a guest being wheeled out of the event on a stretcher.
We all have been affected somehow by what was put in the food.
The Seminole County Sheriff's Department now saying the bride, Danya Glenny, was behind it. Police confronted her and the groom that night.
Bride and groom?
Yes.
You're bride and groom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, supposedly, your food had cannabis inside of it when your guests eat it. Did you guys authorize that?
I have no idea.
I just need a yes or no, man. Did you guys authorize it for the catering company? to have cannabis placed in the food, edibles, whatever the case may be?
No, sir.
Okay. I just need both of your IDs.
The 42-year-old bride is now facing felony charges for allegedly lacing the food at her wedding with marijuana.
You guys with catering?
Yeah, we're just putting stuff away.
Yeah, don't put anything away yet.
Police collected food on scene to test.
Might be transporting a couple more people to the hospital because of this.
According to the incident report from police, the evidence collected included chocolate-covered strawberries and pudding shots. Of the 30 to 40 attendants, several reported feeling ill to police. Miranda Katie telling our affiliate WESH she was there, the bride, a friend of hers.
My heart was racing.
Katie says another guest at her table suspected it.
He's like, "Are we stoned right now?" And everyone's just kind of looking around each other laughing, and we absolutely were. We were high as a kite, all of us, out of our minds.
The bride's caterer, Joycelyn Bryant, also arrested, both facing the charges of reckless tampering, culpable negligence, and delivery of marijuana. Police telling us the investigation is still ongoing. We reached out to both women and the groom for comment and did not immediately hear back.
I think people just want an explanation. So many of my friends who wouldn't want me speaking with you, but I think it's so important that people stand up for what's right. And, you know, you have to respect other people's free will and boundaries and option to have a choice in something like that.
All right, Isa Gutierrez joins us now live on set. So Isa, clearly the guests didn't think this was fun or funny at all. And now both the bride and the caterer could be facing criminal charges?
That's right. They are facing a first-degree felony charge there among those charges. Reckless tampering. In the state of Florida, if they are convicted, they could face up to 30 years in prison for that. There's no mandatory minimum, but they could face all those years. And I do want to also mention, Tom, that in that body camera video that we showed you, there's a moment where the police are explaining to the bride and the groom that it's one thing if the guests had brought their own marijuana or edibles to the event. It's a completely different situation if there was marijuana put in that food without them knowing.
Yeah, sort of wild. This is a new one, definitely, for wild wedding stories. Anyways, Isa, thank you for that one. When we come back, father on the run, the moment a Milwaukee man takes off from a crash scene. You see it there, leaving his 4-year-old son behind on the highway. What authorities found inside that car. Stay with us. All right, we are back now with Top Stories newsfeed, and we begin with a lockdown at UC Berkeley. Students there told to shelter in place for hours today after what campus police called a credible threat. Authorities say they were searching for a person known to police who may want to harm specific people. The order was lifted and classes were canceled for the rest of the day. So far, no word on any arrest or what sparked the panic. A father arrested after he was caught on camera abandoning his son following a rollover crash in Milwaukee. This video is wild. Police say the man was speeding down the highway, crashed into the median, flipping the car. Officers responding as he and his 4-year-old son climbed out of the vehicle's windshield. The father then taking off moments later, running across the highway to escape. Police say they found a loaded rifle in the car. He's now facing 5 felony charges. And the Supreme Court ruling Puerto Ricans are ineligible for some federal disability benefits. The High Court ruling 8-1 that Congress can withhold supplemental security income from residents of the U.S. territory. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is Puerto Rican, casting the only opposing vote. The ruling extending to all U.S. territories outside the 50 states. And a consumer alert tonight. Best Buy is recalling more than 630,000 air fryers in the U.S. The recall involves Best Buy brand Insignia digital air fryers, analog air fryers, and air fryer ovens. The company says the products can overheat, causing them to melt, burn, or start a fire. Safety officials say more than 100 incidents have been reported, including one that injured a child. All right, we're turning now to the shock waves that hit the media world today as CNN's new subscription service, CNN Plus, is shutting down after less than a month and an estimated $300 million investment. In a memo to employees, incoming CNN head Chris Lick saying, while today's decision is incredibly difficult, it is the right one for the long-term success of CNN. Axios reporter Sarah Fisher joins Top Story now. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You broke some news on this over the past month, some of the trouble they were having. So what happened here? What is the company is now called Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a monster company. This was not a big ticket item for them. So why did they bother if this type of money was going to raise a red flag?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. So let's go back to 2020 when CNN executives first started to mold the idea of launching a subscription streaming service. Then later in 2021, Warner Media, the parent company to CNN, which at the time was owned by AT&T, hires a new CEO named Jason Kilar. At the time, you had all the executives mostly aligned about launching CNN Plus. But then there were reports out that AT&T was going to spin off Warner Media and combine it with Discovery. Shortly thereafter, there were reports that Jason Kilar would be leaving the company. And so now you have a situation where AT&T and Discovery can't really talk to each other about the strategy around CNN Plus because they're afraid of regulatory scrutiny. You're not supposed to talk to a company that you're going to merge with before it's approved. And so the CNN folks are building this service. The head of Warner Media has given it its blessing, although he's on his way out. And Discovery doesn't have insight into what's going on with the service. They don't really have insight into how much is being spent, what the projections are, what the goals are, nothing. The merger closes in early April, and Discovery finally gets a look at what's under the hood. And here's what sources are telling me. It's not necessarily that the service was a failure. They had 150,000 people sign up to subscribe for it in the 2 weeks that it launched. But the problem was it just didn't really align with Discovery's strategic objectives. Discovery needs to find about $3 billion worth of synergies or cost savings as a result of this merger. And CNN was planning to spend around $1 billion over the course of 4 years. It already spent $300 million building CNN Plus. For them, this is an obvious place where you're going to make a cut, especially because Discovery's long-term vision for streaming is to have one general streaming service in HBO Max that they'll combine Discovery Plus with, and then that will have an ad-supported tier and a subscription tier. They had nowhere in their plans that they were going to have these smaller offshoot subscription services. So it really was just a case of poor communications, misaligned incentives, and honestly, just really bad timing.
Do you know about the rollout? There's been some reporting also about the rollout of this and that executives didn't want to roll this out. They didn't want this to happen, but some within CNN still decided to give it the green light. How does that happen?
Yes. So Discovery executives were trying to signal ahead of the merger and ahead of the launch of CNN Plus, like that maybe this isn't necessarily the best path forward, but they had to be pretty coy about it. You know, they're not going to go on air on national television or send out memos and say, don't do this thing. Meanwhile, internally at CNN, you have a barrier between the layer of CNN and Warner Media, right? And so they think that it was a message that was communicated. Executives at CNN will tell you it wasn't really communicated. We continue to get blessings from above to go forward with this thing. And so I think that's where the disparity lies. Unfortunately, this sort of, misalignment is going to cost a lot of people jobs. It's obviously already cost about $300 million. The bright side here, though, they're killing it pretty early on. I mean, if they had let this drag on for many more months, they would have spent more money on marketing, more people would have gotten invested. At least by killing it at the outstart, you're able to sort of save those headaches long term.
Sarah, I have to ask you, CNN invented cable news. This is a little bit of a different beast, but I would argue compelling news in a compelling format will always find an audience. What will they deliver once they put this package together? What will it be called? Will it just be called CNN Streaming, or will it still be called CNN Plus? Or are they going to get out of the news game altogether in the streaming world? And I know I'm asking this as somebody who's coming to you live right now on News Now, which is our streaming service.
Yeah, well, I think the strategy for News Now and for some other news streaming services out there, if you think about CBSN, is to be offered free and ad-supported. And one of the biggest free ad-supported news websites in the world actually is CNN.com. So I think the thinking is, let's take as much as we can from CNN Plus, put some of that content, that video content, on the CNN app where it will be able to get access for free and be ad supported. We can take some of the rest of that content and maybe perhaps put it on HBO Max. I think they're going to try to salvage a lot of the content. They just don't want it to be housed in one standalone subscription service. And let's zoom out for a second. That kind of makes sense. Like, look at what Discovery's other subscription services, Golf TV, Food Network app, like these are really hard businesses to grow big. And even when you are big, look what happened with Netflix this week. We're starting to see that subscriptions have a ceiling. So I think it makes total sense the way that Discovery's thinking. I think it made sense that CNN wanted to try this. They actually were able to get a lot of infrastructure in place to start developing more digital video programming. So that's good. Unfortunately, the timing was bad, and this just is not going to play out in the favor of the folks that wanted CNN Plus to continue to be a standalone subscription.
Sarah, we thank you for your time and your reporting this. We also want to say that we have a lot of friends and colleagues over there at CNN, and we never want to see people lose jobs, especially in our field, in the field of journalism. It's never good when news services go down. We are hoping CNN will figure out what to do with all those jobs. Sarah, thanks again. Next tonight, to the high-profile court case we've been following closely, Johnny Depp suing ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation over claims he was abusive. The actor taking the stand for a third straight day, pressed over explicit and violent text messages in which he describes wanting to, quote, drown and burn Heard. NBC's Steve Patterson following it all for us.
Tonight, the cross-examination of Hollywood superstar Johnny Depp taking an R-rated turn. Attorneys for his ex-wife using his own text messages to paint a picture of a man prone to violent urges.
You said, I will her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead.
The actor suing Amber Heard for $50 million, insisting claims of domestic abuse made in this 2018 Washington Post op-ed amount to defamation.
And when you called Amber that filthy whore, she was your wife at the time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Heard's lawyers relentlessly attempting to deconstruct that argument.
Let's drown her before we burn her. 3 exclamation points.
Using Depp's own words against him.
I'll put in heavy work with Shrank. I'm sorry for being less, for your disappointment in me, for my behavior. I'm a savage. And you would sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right? During this time period.
Isn't happy hour anytime?
Showing pictures of tables laden with marijuana, cocaine, and alcohol, pressing Depp about drug-fueled nights with celebrity friends.
One of your good friends that you've taken drugs with before is Marilyn Manson, right?
Yes, we've taken, we've drank together. We've had cocaine together maybe a couple of times.
And this shocking image taken by Heard during a period when Depp admits he was using opioids.
This is a picture of you on a black leather couch, passed out, correct?
Passed out's an interesting way of putting it. Maybe asleep.
And that's ice cream on your lap, correct?
It is indeed.
On day 3 of testimony, Depp's cool facade cracking at times.
My only question was just to confirm that you had sent that message to Elton John, nothing else. Thank you.
So I'll just stop talking.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time.
Depp's team tonight insisting his texts do not equate to physical actions, noting he has previously apologized.
All right, Steve Patterson joins us now from L.A. Steve, I know you've been covering this for us. Clearly a different type of Johnny Depp than what we saw yesterday, appearing to grow more and more irritated with Heard's team. How much of this is part of their strategy, the Heard team?
Tom, I would absolutely call it one of the pillars of their cross-examination. Depp is clearly a man that likes to talk and tell stories on the stand. Heard's attorney was having absolutely none of that, which led to some pretty frustrated exchanges. Heard's team clearly trying to rattle and throw the actor off balance for a jury charged not only with just weighing the facts, but judging character. Tom?
All right, Steve Patterson for us. Steve, we appreciate it. Now to top stories global watch and the deadly bombing at a Shiite mosque in Afghanistan. The explosion leaving at least 10 people dead, 24 injured. Another bombing on a bus roughly 100 miles away, killing at least 4. An ISIS affiliate claiming responsibility for both attacks. It comes after bombings killed at least 6 people in a Shiite neighborhood of Kabul on Tuesday. And the former president of Honduras has been extradited to the U.S. to face drug trafficking charges. New video shows Juan Orlando Hernandez handcuffed and surrounded by dozens of police officers as he left a Honduran prison. He was then taken to the airport by helicopter where a DEA airplane was waiting for him. Hernandez was arrested in February, accused in the U.S. of accepting millions of dollars in bribes to protect drug cartels. And Queen Elizabeth celebrating her 96th birthday today. The palace sharing this rare baby photo of her. The Windsor Guards played Happy Birthday, and there was a 62-gun salute in London's Hyde Park in her honor. It comes as the Queen prepares to mark her historic Platinum Jubilee, becoming the first British monarch to celebrate 70 years on the throne. Thank you for watching Top Story tonight. I'm Tom Llamas in New York. Stay right there. More news on the way.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.